Newsflash: men are sexual beings. That's just a biological fact. You can't separate a man from his sexuality any more than you can separate him from his heartbeat. It's not something he chose, and it's not something he can switch off. Which means that for a man, a sexless marriage isn't just a minor disappointment. He can't leave without losing everything he loves. He can't stay and be whole. And he can't go elsewhere without a storm of pain and destruction. So, he's trapped. We know what happens to animals in captivity when they're prevented from expressing their natural behaviors. They deteriorate. Men, being living creatures themselves, are no different. Sexless marriages are a form of captivity. And multiple studies reveal exactly what happens physiologically to men deprived of sex in monogamy. Sexless marriages are linked to depression and anxiety, elevated stress hormones, cardiovascular disease, a weakened immune system, and a significantly higher risk of early death. So, nothing trivial. But today, I want to explore why. Why does the absence of something many people seem perfectly fine without cause such profound suffering in men? I'm Laura Howe, a relationship therapist specialising in sexless and low-intimacy marriages. I've spent years trying to understand why they hurt so much, and in this video, I'm sharing what I've learned. First, a quick disclaimer. Nothing in this video argues for sex without full, genuine enthusiasm, and it isn't intended as a tool to pressure or coerce anyone. The biology I'm describing is real for any man in a sexless marriage, but the solution must always involve trust, safety, and mutual desire. Okay, stick with me to the end on this one, because I'm going to explain each layer and then tie it all together at the end to give you the full picture. So, let's start with the body and what touch deprivation, which is what this really is, does physiologically. The skin hunger. Touch deprivation is the term researchers use for what happens when human beings are chronically deprived of affectionate touch. You might have heard it called skin hunger. It's a documented physiological phenomenon studied seriously for decades. Dr. Tiffany Field at the Touch Research Institute has demonstrated this clearly. Without regular affectionate touch, cortisol levels rise, while oxytocin and serotonin decline, resulting in measurably higher anxiety, depression, and chronic stress. We first observed this in premature infants. Babies held skin to skin in the NICU develop faster and leave hospitals sooner. Nobody argues that babies need touch, we just accept it as fact. That same biology doesn't switch off at 18 or 50. After years of touch deprivation, I hear men say the same thing. I don't even need it to be sexual anymore. I just want her to put a hand on my shoulder. Something, anything. That's not a man asking for meaningless sexual gratification. That's a man describing chronic emotional pain. But the need for touch and sexual closeness goes beyond the physical. It's neurological, the attachment system. Psychologist John Bowlby established that humans are wired for attachment, and subsequent research has shown that need continues across the entire lifespan, from the cradle to the grave. In committed relationships, this attachment is most powerfully expressed through physical and sexual intimacy. For most men, sex isn't primarily about physical release. It's about feeling accepted, valued, and chosen. So, prolonged sexual rejection destabilizes his sense of emotional security. When that connection is chronically absent, men experience a persistent, low-level agitation, a sense that something is fundamentally wrong. It's their attachment system sending a very clear signal: you are not wanted. I've heard countless women dismiss their husband's needs as childish or trivial, rather than recognizing legitimate suffering. They say things like, "You're a man, you can handle it," or roll their eyes and tell him to take a cold shower. The truth is, and many women genuinely don't realize this, they're hurting their men. And so, over time, many of them simply stop trying and withdraw. They become less present, less generous, and more irritable. And so she pulls further away, which makes everything worse. A vicious cycle is born that neither of them knows how to break. Next, we come to the reality of living like this day to day, the prolonged torture. Being alone is painful, but living with someone who doesn't want you is worse. Decades of loneliness research show that the most damaging form of loneliness is relational loneliness. The isolation of being in a relationship where you don't feel loved. When you're alone, you know why you feel lonely. When you're lying next to someone who doesn't want you, the person you love the most, the sense of rejection is devastating. A man in a sexless marriage is living with a woman he's sexually attracted to. He sees her naked, he lies next to her in bed. He remembers how they used to be. Her proximity activates the exact